All right. So I just want to say I'm a weirdo. Y'all must be funny if you think I'm conforming to anything of this world because y'all were the same people calling me weird when I wasn't following God. And now I follow something that makes me feel good about myself and good about others. And you want to call me weird. Now, let me tell you why this don't make sense. The Lord tells us not to conform to the patterns of this world and be renewed by the refreshing of your mind. Now, I've never felt those words more clearly because as soon as I started worshiping God, it's like all of my problems were slowly solving themselves. Like when you give something up to God, He really does hear you. You got to humble yourself. You don't know everything. I know you don't know everything because you get frustrated with yourself when you can't figure something out. And you're telling me there's no God? The one that created everything knows everything. You need to humble yourself and seek advice. But I was the same way. At first, I didn't want to hear anything. At first, I literally just was walking on my own path, thought I could do everything right myself, thought I didn't need to learn anything from fucking anyone because I can just do whatever the fuck I want. And life just works like that. But it's not real, it's illusionary. The devil will trick you into thinking the only thing that's important is yourself. And that's not true because what's more important is others. And Christ literally showed that. He died for our sins and then rose again so that he can judge us. Now, let me tell you, pride is the worst of these sins because if you fall for pride, you're falling for a dummy trap, and that shit will lead you into literally anything else. Think about how many people you meet that are so prideful that they fall immediately. They say that they can do anything and then they fail and then they don't get back up. If you're so big, if that God that you worship, and I know it's not the true God, if that God that you worship, either being yourself or some false idol, is so big, why would it let you fall like that? I got some Bible notes here. We can beat pride using humility. It says in James 4:6, but he gives more grace. Therefore, it says, God opposes the proud but gives grace to the humble. As soon as I humbled myself, I started realizing that everything I knew is wrong. I was walking around like I was the biggest shit ever, giving myself the most false confidence of all time. Think about how many narcissists walk around in their lives thinking that they're the biggest. And then they're frustrated when shit doesn't go their way. They're not humble enough to see that there's a flaw in their path. Next up, envy. I used to be so envious of others having things that I didn't have. I was always mad because they got the latest shit, they got the flyest shoes, and then I was getting ridiculed by those with pride and letting that shit turn to myself. You've got to be fucking kidding me, bro. God puts it gratefully. A heart at peace gives life to the body. Envy rots the bones, and that is so true. Proverbs 14:30. When I was envying others, I was feeling like I was shit. Always looking at what others had, always feeling like, damn, I really deserve that. I should have had it instead. Man, I'll get it because I want what everybody else has. That is so lame and so done with. So done with. You will get what is given to you in due time. And that moves me on to my next point. Diligence and sloth. Man, whew, man. The soul of the sluggard craves and gets nothing, while the soul of the diligent is richly supplied. I was sitting there not working for shit, and then I was wondering why I wasn't getting anything. It's almost like when you don't work, you don't get anything. And then on top of that, with being envious, come on. Imagine how much shit that would make you be feeling like. Really? Switching to the backside. Anyways, Oh, I got more notes if you want to hear them. Diligence continued. Too much work can beget God and others' needs. That's very true. I mean, when you're working too much on something that isn't God, what are you working for? If everything you do isn't working towards godliness, then think about it. What are you working for? Everything on this earth is dust. We're made of it. We're going to turn back to it. And then once we're dead, you won't have it no more. It's that simple. And that thought, honestly, for some people, that'll feel miserable. But to me, that's humbling. It's like literally all of this is dust. I could make the newest PlayStation if I really wanted to. If I really wanted to, I could have anything. But instead, I choose to work for the things that I want. If you sit there and do nothing, what's going to come to you? Really? Generosity beats greed. I don't even think I have to do a quote for this one. Everybody knows, but I'm going to give it to y'all anyways because y'all need the method. Let's read. Timothy 6:10. For the love of money is the root of all kinds of evils. It is through this craving that some have wandered away from the faith and pierced themselves with many pangs. While money itself isn't evil, wanting so much of something is. When you're so greedy and you keep something to yourself, are you really enjoying it? Think about how many rich people are out here living miserable lives because they aren't doing anything but serving themselves. Idolatry. Idolatry and greed, in my mind, they go hand in hand. Because when you're doing false worship to like manifest and put in some hack codes into life for something that like isn't worth shit anyways, because it's gonna be gone when you're dead. To put so much work into something that is literally nothing, crazy. And then you want to hoard it. Be generous, guys. Give to people and watch how much better that feels. Man, people who are greedy hate to give, but I feel like if they gave away, they would really realize, like, hey, this feels good. Not only for myself, but because I know I'm doing good for other people. Read it with my thoughts. That wasn't good. Now I'm sharing with y'all, and now I feel like I'm probably helping somebody have a better day and uplifting them, and that's what I want to do. Chastity and lust. Lust is another one of those sins that I think goes like hand in hand with idolatry. Honestly, I feel like nowadays we can see how bad lust has gotten. It's in the music. It's in like your front page on Instagram. Now, luckily, I've cultivated mine to where all that lust stuff, it's just gone. I am so happy for that, man. It's been like a minute. Like, and lust is in particular something that all men will struggle with. I know that for sure. Women too, but like as a man, y'all kind of get what I'm like. Y'all kind of get what I'm laying down. It's a little bit like the world is wired towards making us fall in some way. Matthew 5:28. But I say to you that everyone who looks at a woman with lustful intent has already committed adultery with her in his heart. The root of lust is in the heart, not just acts of adultery. Think about how many times you're sitting in your bed and you're just like bored as fuck, and then like, or like even like you have a bad day, or like I don't know, shit's just not going right and you feel bad about yourself. Think about how weird it is that you go to doing that to instantly gratifying yourself with some fucking meat shield on your body, or if you're a woman, you shoving your fingers up your cooter, and you're like you're using that to make yourself feel better. But you don't feel better because by the end of it, I know what you're feeling. You're feeling disgusting. There's no way you're not. Lastly, moving on to this last one. Temperance and gluttony. Proverbs 23:20 through 21. Be not among drunkards or gluttonous eaters of meat, for the drunkards and the gluttons will come to poverty, and slumber will clothe them with rags. Gluttony and sloth go hand in hand. eating too much or drinking too much, you already know how that has you feel. After Thanksgiving, that itis you get, I know you must be feeling like, wow, bro, that was a lot. I need to take a nap. And like, you can see where that goes. And then like spending all your money on like food and stuff, you're just going into poverty. Think about how many people will like buy drugs before they pay their bill. They say it takes 4 seconds for silence to become awkward. In my notes, I put from the goat Solomon. Ecclesiastes, Wisdom of Solomon, like probably my favorite books in the Bible. But that dude fell to lust. So once again, men, watch your way. Surrounding yourself with gluttons will make you like them. If there's a bunch of people at a party and they're all drinking, you're most likely going to drink too, unless you're like abstaining or practicing temperance or something like that. But 9 times out of 10, you're probably going to drink or smoke if you're at that party with everybody who's drinking and smoking, because it's just a thing people do. In good times, we all party. So I don't know what to say. Leading to hardship and need. Once again, pay your bills before you go and smoke. Temper yourself. Too much of anything is bad and will lead to death. So whether that death is spiritual or physical, doesn't matter. We should all strive to be in the glory of the Lord. And I feel like if we all try, we will make it. But the way the world works right now is like, everybody just wants you to be like them. Everybody wants you to be miserable because misery loves company. That's some Aesop's fable type shit. Read the one about the fox. Good. People be like, that's a baby book. You just gotta read, bro. Don't think you're too cool for reading, because I know you're not. I know you're not. And I could be using my more eloquent vocabulary and talking more like a normal person, but instead I decided that I would try to relate to everybody in a more personal sense, because my last video, I got some criticism. People were like, it's a little bit impersonal. So now I've really tried to like double down on the personality aspect. So I'm hoping that y'all will like this. Not that it really matters to me though, because I'm really recording it just to help the people that really want to see it. And I'm not trying to conform to the patterns of this world. So here's where I'll tie everything together, because we're at the 12-minute mark, hitting on 13, and I should have left it at 10 for YouTube, because I know YouTube likes it. I was walking around in life confused because I was following other people, and following other people is the main way you will fall down. Do not conform to the patterns of this world. People will always condemn you for literally anything that they can, because they think it's cool to just be fucking nothing. And I need to stop cursing for sure, because that's another pattern of this world that I should surely avoid. And later in my videos, I probably will feel less of a need to relate to people more like this in this way, because I'll cultivate a group of people who really want to see it. But this is just to reach out to everybody, because I know I got some non-Christian friends. I know I got some Christian friends who do want to see this, and they're gonna see the good in this. I don't see the good in cursing. You shouldn't either. I don't see the good in drinking too much. I don't see the good in smoking too much. I don't see the good in doing any of it. I was walking around feeling like a loser because I didn't have everything. I was envious of others, when really I should have been grateful that God gave me everything that I had. And that was the biggest humbling experience in my life, realizing that I don't have everything. I never will. And that's okay. So, what you should take away from this is love your brothers, love your sisters. Don't call anybody weird. Don't call anybody like, just love people. Because think about it, when you're condemning other people, who are you really condemning? Them or yourself? You're putting yourself in such a small, narrow box that you're failing to see what's on the outside. And I feel like everybody could use a little love. So, with that, I just want to say I love all of you. I hope all of you keep thriving, and I hope this video serves to elevate you. Love y'all all. Peace.